Jack TV presents Chad the Intern's Movie Review, brought to you by the David Arquette Academy of Fine Arts.
This week, we're reviewing, what is that, Twilight...
No, it's Eclipse. It's Eclipse.
Whatever. Twilight Eclipse. Is that like, is it combined?
No, Eclipse is the third novel in the Stephanie Meyer.
All right, we're not ready for you yet. Okay. So, the movie is Eclipse, which is the third movie in the Twilight Saga, and of course, I was unavoidably detained, wasn't able to watch it, but I brought in Laura Fernandez here, one of our account executives here at CBS Radio. She watched the advanced screening. Of course, it's in theaters now, and I wanted to ask you a few questions about it because, you know, I didn't see it. So I haven't seen any of them, to be honest with you. It's about Dracula, right? Is that what this is about?
It's vampires.
But not Dracula?
No, not Dracula.
Okay. So it's about teenage vampires and werewolves.
It is.
Okay. Now, let's just start off right off the bat with the rating scale, just so that we set the tone, if you will.
Yes.
Out of all three of the movies, this is the first rating scale, because we only do trilogies, apparently. Out of all three of them, is this the best, the worst, or the...
I would say... I'm going to go with middle. I'm going to go with middle. So if I would rank them, I would do Twilight, Eclipse, New Moon.
Interesting. Now, see, Toy Story was the opposite. It was Toy Story 3, then Toy Story 1, then Toy Story 2. But in this case, we're going Twilight number 1.
Yes.
And then, what'd you say?
Eclipse.
Eclipse, and then New Moon.
New Moon.
Okay. And then, on a scale of 1 to 10, just standalone by itself, what would you say?
You know, I would go with, no, I would go with 8, 8.5. I mean, 9's pretty good, so I'm going to go with 8.5 for my ranking.
Say that again, I like how you talk.
8.5.
She's got a little bit of an accent.
From
West Virginia. No,
I'm not from West Virginia. I went to school in West Virginia.
I just want everybody to know that we're dealing with a professional here. She was actually part of the news.
Anchor of the WVU News that aired statewide.
Oh, look at that, right? Okay, so let's get a little bit into the story. Since I haven't followed along on any of this stuff, there's a Kristen Stewart is like the...
Kristen Stewart's Bella.
Okay, and then who's the Robert...
Robert Pattinson is Edward. And then there's Taylor Lautner that is Jacob. Jacob is the werewolf. Bella is like the non-vampire, just girl that's in love with Edward, who is Robert Pattinson.
And then no one wears a shirt in this movie?
Actually, Edward, the vampire, wears one, and there's actually a funny comment. Well, I'm not giving anything away, but Jacob...
No, go ahead, Ismael.
Jacob is always without a shirt. He's the werewolf. And Kristen Stewart, Bella, and Rob Pattinson, Edward, pulled up, and Edward goes to Bella, he goes, "Does that dude ever have a shirt?" And that was like kind of funny, like, play. So I laughed out loud for that.
I imagine you would. So they realize that it's kind of cheesy.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
They made a lot of like little like cheesy kind of jokes that they were like calling themselves out on. And the book does that too. It's pretty much verbatim from the Stephanie Meyer book. Oh,
that's something that we should bring up, because obviously the Toy Story series, there wasn't a book first. This was a book first.
Yes.
Now compare, there's another rating system. Compare the book to the movie. Which one's better? You
know what? I always go with the book, because I think it kind of creates, which is the benefit of radio, is a theater of the mind.
Ooh. You're good.
I know, I really do. She
sells
reading.
Radio, man.
I do. Laura.Fernandez at CBSRadio.com.
There's like 5 people that may call you.
I know. But that's the thing. I like reading the book a little bit better, but the movie is actually completely verbatim from the book.
Okay, so in the love story is the Kristen Stewart character and then Robert Pattinson, they're lovers, right?
Yes.
And then in the first one, didn't he have to go away, and then I don't know what happened in the second one?
No, the first one, he was around. The second one, New Moon, he left because he wanted to not, Bella wanted to be turned into a vampire. And
what girl wouldn't?
Yes,
right?
Of course. Who doesn't want to live forever? And especially in this world.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
So he left because he thought he was doing the best thing. Ending, he comes back, and now they're together, and now they're... Well, I don't want to give it away. But the thing is, I can
There's a 4th one coming, though, right?
There's actually 2 coming.
Oh, God.
They broke up. The last book is Breaking Dawn, and because there's so much stuff going on, they broke it up into 2 movies. So we're going to be dealing with this for another, like, 2 years.
So this is, I mean, if you compare this to other movies, this is like the teenage version of Harry Potter.
Yes.
Kind of.
Definitely. I think it actually has a stronger following than Harry Potter.
Wow. And do you feel a bit awkward being in your mid-20s going to a teenage movie, or do you not care?
I really don't care.
You kind of fit in.
You know
anyway,
what?
right?
That's the thing. It's like Edward. Like I remember I watched the first one. I was like, oh my gosh, Edward's so cute, and then you realize that he's like 20 years old, and you're like, oh, feel a little uncomfortable. Especially Taylor Lautner, because he's only 17.
Wow.
And you have like 30
Pedophile.
to 40, 30 to 40-year-old women. They're like, woo! And then, this one chick.
That was awesome.
So the one chick behind me, literally, so the sex scene was not really a sex scene because they don't have sex before marriage in the movie.
Of course, why would they?
Why would they?
No.
But right before there's this 50-year-old lady right behind me that goes, like when the sex scene is about, or like the makeout scene is starting. So this 50-year-old woman's like, JC and I look behind, we're like, what is that?
That is disturbing. Now, JC, you mentioned was your husband.
Yeah, he's just
otherwise known as Jorge.
Jorge.
Yes. Okay. So you don't want to give away the ending, but is it an exciting ending? Does it lead you into the next story, or is it kind of just leave it up in the air?
It's definitely a cliffhanger. The cliffhanger is, I mean, if you didn't, seriously, if you're watching this, you probably have read the book, so you know the ending of the third movie.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. If you read the book, you already know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's the thing. I started telling our coworker, I was like, I'm like, could you believe that wasn't the ending good? She goes, don't tell me. I'm like, you read the book. It's the same ending. There's no difference. So annoying. It's like, of course I'm going to talk about how they got engaged and how they're waiting to have her turned. Because the fourth book is...
Oh, they're turning Kristen, what's her name?
Yeah, Kristen Stewart.
Oh.
The opening scene to the Breaking Dawn in the book is their wedding.
Mm.
Yeah. And then she gets pregnant and she has a vampire baby and then he has to turn her.
Well, and I know that we need to wrap this up, but
Sorry.
what is the whole fascination with vampires lately? Because you've got this Twilight crap, you've got some...
True
Blood thing on, what's that, on
Diaries.
Showtime or something?
No, it's True Blood.
Right.
True Blood on HBO.
Yeah.
Vampire Diaries on CW.
Vampire in Brooklyn?
Yep.
Too?
I don't know what that one is.
Okay. Eddie
Lost
Murphy's
Boys?
bad movie.
Lost Boys.
But I mean, recently, though, you have to admit, there's like a plethora of all these vampire movies. I don't understand what the fascination is with blood-sucking...
You know what? I think it's like the
Creatures
sexuality, like, that they're sexy. I mean, remember Interview with the Vampire, Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise? They're just sexy.
Is there a woman fantasy of guys breaking in your room and sucking your blood?
I think there is.
That's... What?
But you're missing something.
I know. Well,
We just get a little paler and you'll be good.
Right.
You're a little
Yeah, because I already have the creepy, lurking around women's bedrooms at night. I just need to actually break in and suck
just
their blood.
Get a little paler and you'll be good to go.
Okay. So overall, you're giving this an 8 out of 10.
Yes, 8.5 out of 10.
Well, 8.5. You just upped it. She's upped it 0.5 since we began this interview.
I liked it. It was a good movie. You should check it out. Don't
Probably
worry.
not going to happen.
We can have a screening night one time.
Yeah, maybe I'll wait till it gets out on DVD. I'm going to wait till all 5 of them get out, and then I'm just going to spend a whole weekend with vampires.
It sounds like a fantastic weekend.
Yeah.
Open a beer.
Yeah, and she's from Pennsylvania. There's something there, right? Because there's a lot of vampires in Pennsylvania,
Oh,
right?
I think so.
Pennsylvania?
I don't know.
All right, well, there you go. Twilight Eclipse, whatever it's called.
Eclipse.
Now in theaters. Laura Fernandez, I thank you for coming in.
No problem.
Appreciate it. 8.5 out of 10. Also, number 2 in the series of 3. So that's the other scale that we have. And there you go.
Go check it out.
You've been watching Jack TV, for when nothing else is on.